we're looking at drama now. Every gamer's favorite, pirate software. I've seen there is a longer video, but we start with a short video first, and then we see how things develop. Shall we?
I was watching a video that was critiquing you for mentioning you work at Blizzard so much. I literally never talk about it. When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. Used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. You're red team specialist for Blizzard Entertainment. And Blizzard is having worked at Blizzard. I grew up at Blizzard. Blizzard, game industry for Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard. Yeah, no, I worked at Blizzard back when I used to work at Blizzard, when I was at Blizzard. For those
Guys, I might think that he worked at Blizzard. But I'm not sure. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe we have to investigate more.
I don't understand. Like, I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. I know how to do that because I worked at Blizzard. Example of this when I was at Blizzard. How do you do so many things? I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I don't think I'm better than other people. I do think that it's funny because you can that. There's a lot of people that brought that up. And it's like, I never said that I was. I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting. When in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase. Sure. This gets misconstrued in as arrogance, but in reality, it's this. Yeah. That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro.
Guys, I think I see where the problem lies here. I think we have a problem. I really think so. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have to investigate more.
I actually am the first second-generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second.
So basically, Daddy worked at Blizzard, and he got a job at Blizzard because Daddy.
Second-generation Blizzard employee ever. The first second-generation Blizzard employee. First second-generation Blizzard employee. So I'm second-generation Blizzard. I'm the first second.
Is he in the photo or not? I can't tell. Maybe that's him or his father, but I don't know.
Generation Blizzard employee that ever existed in the company. I'm also a second-generation Blizzard employee. I was a second-generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee ever. I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee, and I love that shit. I love that company. Working for Blizzard sucked, and I work at Blizzard.
Then why did you stay there? I mean, to be fair, why? I mean, you worked at Blizzard, I think. So you might have a good repertoire when going to a different studio. Unless you have a non-compete clause in your contract, which I hope you don't.
I worked at Blizzard. There's me eating a sandwich. Yeah, that was actually at Blizzard. I think it was my first. I think it was 2009. It was me picking a safe. It was me cracking a safe in at Blizzard. Your Blizzard stories are fake. Which Blizzard story do you think is fake? Would you like to talk to me or my dad that worked at Blizzard for 23 years that's currently in chat? Which one do you want?
I think we have to investigate more on what's going on here, because I'm not sure what's going on. I'm really not.
That's my biggest issue. Like, he's being disrespectful to the only people that are still sticking around. He lost 120,000 subs over the last 2 weeks. Like, these are the people.
That's a lot. That's way more than I even have, which, to be fair, is not hard. But, you know, I am at least growing. And I'm not losing a bunch of people. So, am I better than Pirate Software? Oh, Jesus.
people that are sticking with him through thick and through thin, and he's still lying to them, like right to their faces. Pirate Software lied, and then in this same clip proves that he was lying. I didn't even have to do research for this one. Now this as well was from a live stream where I decided to record this video. I know I've said in the past that that kind of impacts my bias and whatnot, so I tried my best just to focus in on the content that I was sharing with you guys. I made sure to, you know, write it down beforehand, but I'm still interested to hear what you guys think. Now, not only that, I also go into detail about some of the issues and the history with Heartbound and its lack of updates, lack of consistent updates, I should say. But one more
I guess Heartbound is the game by Pirate Software. That's my guess.
thing to mention before the video gets started. In my estimation, this is probably going to be one of the last Pirate Software videos that I am making as a part of this saga. It's getting to a point where I just don't think the quality of the information that I'm sharing with you guys is up to the standard that it was even just a few short days ago. I might be taking a break if there's big drama in the interim here as I'm trying to find a new story to go into. I will of course be covering it, but I just wanted to be upfront for the people that have been watching and are kind of waiting for us to get into new stories. There's been something new that I thought useful each day, and now that we're coming out of it, just wanted to let you guys know. But finally, if you're new here, end up enjoying the video, consider subscribing. Also, give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful and want to share it to other people. Helps in the algorithm. But regardless of if you do either of those things, thank you for watching. So
Everything that he just said, also for me.
this is coming from Colette X Core on Livestream Fails. This is the clip, and they also sent me the raw clip. I'm gonna play this for you guys. I just want you to watch it. I just want you to follow along, and then we're gonna go over it again and go a little bit slower. So he's talking about all the people shitting on him for Heartbound and like the slow progress of Heartbound, okay?
I release an update for Heartbound on the first week of every month. All those people who are making videos about that are fucking morons. They should probably just check the Steam updates. It's like, there's literally an update that goes out the first week of every month. Yeah, they're just content farming. Like, here, I'll even show it to you, man. Even though people are, like, review bombing the shit out of the game. Here. Boop. You can just go down here and see the announcements right here. You can actually see all of the patch notes. They're all there, right? It's all in there. You can just go see it yourself, going all the way back, right? So, like, right? So people that are saying that the game never gets worked on or has been abandoned are lying to you. Like, provably. So, don't fall for that weird bullshit.
This part right here, right?
Like, provably. So.
Provably. So remember what he said, right? He said that a monthly
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I wonder what he found.
update comes out in the first part of each month. In the first week of each month, an update comes out. Now, number one, just to get the semantics out of the way, it is July 10th. We are in the second week of the month. There's been no update for July, but that is pedantic, right? That's a bit
Okay. If you say so. But if half the month is already over and there's no update, but the update comes in the first week of the month, we are 1 week over that.
silly. You know, even if he's just getting an update out every single month, I think that that's fair. What if I were to tell you that in the clip that you just saw, he proved that that isn't true? He goes through to show us.
I love it when the karma. I love karma.
You guys can just go on the Steam updates, right? Just go check the Steam updates. Well, let's look at those Steam updates.
Boop. You can just go down here and see the announcements right here. You can actually see all of the patch notes.
Interesting. Okay, so right here,
April
update moved.
Oh.
Moving this update to May 1st. New stuff coming this week. That's in April. Don't worry, we'll go to these. They're there. The next update should drop this week. That isn't true. They end up moving it to May 1st. In his own clip, he is showing that that is wrong. The proof that he is right, that there's an update coming out every month, is false by his own, what is that? By his own volition? By his own proof? It's right there. It's right there in front of it. It's in, I haven't seen anybody on this Reddit talking about it. People have been covering, and we're going to go over some of this stuff in regard to Heartbound. They're not.
The thing is, let's be generous here. I mean, game development is work, and things can happen that, you know, you plan on bringing out an update at the beginning of every month. You plan that, but then things happen and you have to change things up. These things happen. These things happen. But it doesn't make the general English. It doesn't invalidate the saying that bringing out an update every month, even if you don't, because things happened. Why do I say that? Because things happen. Things happen. The goal would be bringing out an update every month. That's the goal. And in general, you stick to that. But then things happen, then one update doesn't make it, has to be delayed, because things happened. You trying to fix a bug or implement something, and it doesn't work out properly. And then you push it back. You push it back, the update. And then it's not in the same month anymore. Things like that can happen. So in general, but of course, it's not really. You shouldn't say things like that. What he should have said is that he works on bringing out updates every month, and sometimes things happen and they don't make it. That's what he should have said. That would be the more correct thing to say. Because bringing out an update each month, that's a goal. You don't always make your goals. That's the thing.
Not even bringing up that's itself is a lie. So I went up and I pulled up the updates. So I was like, there's no way, right? Why would he have proof of himself lying in that clip of him saying that he's got proof that everyone else is lying? So this is March. So we get our March patch. Great. New stuff coming this week, April 3rd. Next update should drop this week. I was going to launch this on the 1st, but the dialogue, blah, blah, blah. He's saying it should drop this week. It is now April 21st. Was going to drop the update last week or so, but a lot needed to be changed. I was very busy with our ferret rescue. Thankfully, I have everything written and implementation is a breeze, so it's not going to be an issue. And then he says this. Also, as a point of clarity for those that are upset at my streaming schedule and the games I play on there, I run a company of 15 people and a ferret rescue of 60 plus animals. If this indie game could pay for it all, I definitely would just be doing this. It cannot and never has been able to. The stream and the community that supports me streaming allows me to work on this game and accomplish all of the objectives I set out to do. Again, I'm not going to go after this guy because he didn't update it within the first week, even though he said he does that every single time and said literally, because I think that's pedantic and I think that's dumb. But we can all.
He's right. Should not have said it that way.
Also, while I was looking through this, he was saying he does that every month. Out of curiosity, studio update, January 2025. There's a video. And the last time he updated since then, April 1st, 2024. Oh, wait, this patch is an April Fool's joke. There are no known issues. There are no bug fixes. I'm a perfect programmer. It's all April Fools. And then the update before that was back in 2023, December.
Wow. Wait. What the hell is going on here? So he's literally just lying. He did literally just lied. Completely making everything I said before completely worthless. Wow, he just lied. Well, so much for that.
Of 2023. People were upset about how long it had taken for Heartbound to get updates. We're going to be going into a little bit of depth about what updates are in that. And maybe, maybe Pirate was saying every month since he got back in January. Let's take him at that. Because he was still wrong about that. Let's take a look at the journey, a bit of the journey of Heartbound. Yeah, he clarifies in the studio update video at least. Let's take a look at what's in that video.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about why Heartbound has not been updated for so long. And it's hilariously because the community exploded inside. Back in November of...
Did you see that? Why is his face so close to the microphone that his nose is literally hitting the microphone? What's going on here? What is going on? Is it that he... Oh my god. Have you guys seen the clip of him giving an interview, talking at the Gamescom games convention somewhere, and his voice is not that deep. Have you seen that clip? I think we have to bring out that clip. I think people are right when they say that the voice he has on stream is not his real voice. Because he's doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not speaking very loud right now, but I'm close to the microphone and I can see in my OBS that my voice is as loud as if I would, sitting back and talking to you guys. But I'm very close to the microphone. So maybe, and of course, I mean, let me know in the comments if my voice is deeper now. I think it is, because I'm not screeching. I'm very, very gently talking to you guys. Am I not? And I think that is exactly what he is doing. That's why his voice is so deep. And of course, we also have tools like a voice meter. You can literally make your voice deeper here. And personally, I actually think this doesn't have an effect on my mic at the moment, because I don't think my mic in OBS is going through a voice meter. It's directly from the sound noise suppression on my AMD software, and this is only my Blue Yeti mic with the noise suppression going directly into my OBS, and I of course have filters there. Of course I do. And that's why my voice sounds the way it is, and voice meter might not do anything there. But I don't know, because I'm stupid. And I'm only halfway knowing what I'm doing. So keep that in mind. I think we found out why his voice sounds the way it does.
2023, we had an average of about 400 viewers. This is now between 15 and 20,000 now. In order to contain all of that and to do something with it that was actually, beneficial to everyone involved, I had to do a lot of stuff. The first thing that I had to do was form a corporation. We actually incorporated Pirate Software. Right. Originally, it was just a DBA, a doing business as. I'm the CEO, and I started hiring on all of the staff. Moderators are actually on full time now. Every one of them is salaried in the United States, and they get vision, dental, medical.
Vision, dental, medical, insurance. Hell yeah, insurance for the mod team.
One of the things I'm trying to do going forward is get them on to a 401k plan, which if you're in Europe, I believe that's called a pension plan. Yeah.
401k, pension, super useful. Thank you. So why haven't you made your game that you sold to people? I just want to make it clear. Like, imagine being someone who have been waiting for this game and have been told that the expected release date from Thor's own words, we are hoping to fully finish and release the game by December of 2017.
What?
Right now, we're on track.
What? That was fucking 8 years ago. Well, almost. It's not December, but it's almost 8 years ago. What the fuck is he doing? What is going on? Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad.
For that date, but if anything changes, we will let everyone know. The expectation that they put forth was 2017, and maybe people have made purchases after that. Let's be fair, right? Maybe people made purchases after this, and he was being realistic. And you guys saw, like I said, I recommend checking out Slop News Network's video where he goes in depth about Pirate Software's jobs, like his workplace, all that stuff, and he goes into the process of Heartbound and how he completed like 6% of the game in a year, like 6%.
That's okay, but can you really say that? I mean, how much of that is, where does that number come from? I wouldn't trust numbers like that. That makes no sense. Because there always can be things happening in developing a game and in work in general. So, 6% per year. That would still mean that it would need over 10 years to finish the game. And, 6% per year. That means in 10 years he has 60%. What the hell is going on? This is stupid. Stop saying things like that.
Of a single chapter of the game. Try to get into the shoes of somebody who has purchased this game, who has been supporting it. Keep in mind, they had a Kickstarter that reached its goal and surpassed it within 2 days. One that got to $19,000 and was hoping to get 5,000 in 2 days. So you are that person, and you know, admittedly, little bit of poisoning the well, you know, but I'm thinking like, what would somebody who's been waiting for this game to update when they haven't, and this is true also, they hadn't received an update for the game in over a year. This is their update. The response is, well, everything blew up, and the project that is promised to you guys has been put on the back burner because I've hired a full team. I've been doing all this stuff. Okay, but let's actually finish.
If you hired a full team, wouldn't the work get done faster? I mean, if you do it alone, and it would, well, according to math, take over 10 years. If you hire a team of people to do the work, wouldn't it then be done faster? This makes no sense.
Finish his part of the video here so we can hear more about why, you know, he can't work on it.
All of this got done in the last year. This was my whole last year, and navigating all of that stuff took an immense amount of time. And because of that, I stopped working on games. I just didn't have time. I worked on Heartbound a little bit here and there, and there wasn't really any other time to do stuff. So each day I would get off stream, I work on it for about an hour, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending on the day that it was, and then went back to work on that. That was it. And then I could go and stream stuff and do everything outside of that.
Okay. I also just want to bring your guys' attention. If you look down below me here, I'll actually play it just so you can see that bottom. You can see down below here, those are the recent streams here, 19th, 18th, and 17th of January. Just real quick, so that's 7.5 hours of Ashes of Creation, 12 hours Path of Exile 2, wow. 12 hours of Path of Exile just chatting. Oh my god, it's Ludwig. Let's just...
Wow. Let's go back on that. So 3 days in a row, he was only streaming because he couldn't do any other things. I mean, he literally has no time doing anything else during these days. 12 hours, again 12 hours, and 8 hours. So at least an entire day's worth of work is only streaming and not working on the game. And that's 3 days in a row. I mean, sure, that's just 3 days in a row, but it's a clear sign of something. It's a clear sign of something. So what's going on? I mean, sure, he makes money with streaming, like, you know, and I guess YouTube. So of course he would do that. But why 3 days in a row? Why isn't he? I mean, sure, he could, you know, yeah, I stream, I don't know, 4 days a week, and then 3 days a week I work on a game or something like that, you know. But this doesn't look good, because I don't think he would do that. Something is going on. Something is going on.
Path of Exile 2, 12 hours of Path of Exile just chatting. Oh my god, it's Ludwig. Let's just look at the comment section of this video and see what actual, you know, owners of the game, people that have been supporting him, what they have to say about this update. I love Thornall, but hearing him say that he had no time to develop Heartbound while streaming AOC and WoW up to 13 hours a day seems insane to me. And the next one here, maybe the real Heartbound is the friends we made along the way. Yes, King. I'm sorry, but you saying you don't have enough time while simultaneously streaming WoW and AOC 12 hours a day every day is ridiculous. You obviously have time. You're just choosing to devote it to your streams instead.
And that's it. I thought it. That's proving what I thought. That's the problem. He isn't working on the game properly. He's just streaming, because most likely that makes more money to him and gives him the fame factor. I think that's what's going on here. It's a completely ego-driven thing.
of the games you sold people. Don't get me wrong, if Thor wants to swap to streaming as his career, that is 100% okay, and his choice. But if that's the case, he needs to state that openly, and then refund the game. Going nearly 2 years with no updates, and then being like, nah, I just haven't had time, when there are hours upon hours of VODs of him screwing around on WoW, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. We got Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 before we got the first promised monthly update. Well, let's take a look at the referencing for almost 2 years. Not a single update. Matter of fact, it actually did go over a year, and someone has a screenshot from that time frame. This is in the Reddit post, one of the top comments actually, and it is a screenshot. So for those who don't know, Steam implemented something back in February of this year, and what that did is it marked games that hadn't received an update on Steam in over a year as a game that's been abandoned. Kind of, you know, to give a pep in the step to those people that were, you know, making shovelware games where they're just putting stuff out and then they just stop updating it, and it allows, you know, consumers to know this game has been abandoned by the producers of the game.
Now, if it's a single player game and there aren't any known bugs in it anymore, that's completely fine. You know, you publish a game, you fix the bugs and you're done with it. That's completely fine for a single player game, completely. Now an early access game, that's not. Same goes with a multiplayer game.
Or developers, so, you know, be wary. This was the screenshot. Early access, this is from Hardbound at this time. Note, the last update made by the developers was over 13 months ago. The information and timeline described by the developers here may no longer be up to date. We want to open more Heartbound content to the public to get feedback and fix bugs on the road to launch. So, they're talking about early access, allowing an even greater conversation between us as developers and the Heartbound community. That's how we know that that was Heartbound. 13 months is absurd. This is kind of where that gets implemented. So it gets implemented in February, and suddenly he starts making updates to the game. Well, I was going through that Reddit thread of this clip that I showed you today, and
wild theory here, a conspiracy theory, if you might want to say. He started making updates so that that line on Steam disappears. That might be the reason. So people now that get to know him go to his game and buy it. That might be the reason, which is insane. I mean, it makes sense on scammer making money front, but that's it. It's yeah. I think we found out why you know, he started making updates again.
Someone compiled all of those updates and what they meant for the game. Let's take a look at someone's summarization of the most recent updates for Heartbound. This goes starting with, let's start with May. It actually goes all the way back to that December of 2023. So we'll start May 28th. This is, you know, the most recent one that they covered for June, right? This is the most recent update. No new content besides a new facial expression and mostly arbitrary timing updates, which boils down to changing a number or two in an array. May 1st, 2025. So this was...
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Supposed to be the April update that got moved to May. Added a conversation path with a character named Road, added some strings to an existing array, fixed a game crash bug. Keep in mind this was...
That's not a lot.
You know, reference, you know, they, you know, writing is his weak suit. He said it multiple times. Writing is the toughest part for him. You know, sure, let's give him...
Okay, if you have the money, you hire someone. To be fair, if you have the money, you hire someone. And to be fair, for an indie game, I don't think there's much to write there. So that might be a couple of hours of writing. If you know, are good with writing and get it going in your head quickly. Which I don't. I'm not good at writing.
That credit. Following after that, so now we're going back to March 2nd. A new way to access whatever the clash is. Change of dialogue text fixed some audio bugs. So keep in mind, he's been working on the last 8% of chapter 3 for the last, I believe, year and a half, 2 years now. I could be wrong. Someone can fact check me on that. And he's doing audio patches. He's doing a game crash bug for a specific system. Added a number symbol to the game font. He added a number symbol or a hashtag to the game font, extended a storyline, possibly dialogue, more strings and arrays, added a quit button. He added a quit button, guys. Long list of bug fixes. April 1st, 2024. April Fool's, not an actual update. This, by the way, February 1st, 2025, April 1st. Now you'll notice February 1st, this is around.
There's a time game. What are we missing? March. So March was nothing. Wait, March was something. Wait. Oh, I see. The dates. We are going down with the dates. Okay. This will up here is 2025, and then we're going to 2024. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a time gap between April 1, 2024 and February 1, 2025 of no updates. And before April 1, 2024, there was a time gap to December 2023. What the fuck did they do? I mean, he obviously did nothing from December 2023 to April 2024 because there was no update. So the wait, yeah, wow, yeah, he really just started getting back to updating the game in 2025, and the last one before that was in December 2023. That's a long gap. That's a long gap, yeah, of no updates. For a game that's in early access development, that's a long time. Shouldn't be the case.
And the time that got implemented, that people could notice that games were being abandoned. And we know about that 13-month period because this April Fool's update wasn't an actual update. So this in here lies 13 months of no update. Calling it Fartbound? Holy based. Now we jump to December 25 of 2023. So back in 2023 on Christmas, new facial expressions for 2 characters. They added effects to 2 characters, cutscenes, added pause option to pause key. I swear that's in the list. Space can accept. Cancel button on a controller can close a menu. He's encompassing all of the updates that you just heard me describe from the last year and a half. 1.5 years of work got players new facial expressions for 3 characters, some more dialogue options in already existing dialogue trees, and some bug fixes for code he already wrote. I think that's, I don't know, I feel like that's a cop-out. Obviously, you're bug fixing the code that you wrote. This is, at most, a few weeks worth of work for someone who sits at their home office all day talking about how good of a programmer they are. 1.5 years is embarrassing. This is not a list of actual updates. This is the equivalent, and they're saying this, this is the equivalent of saying you're working on your book when all you're doing is finding synonyms for words you already wrote and changing the font from Calibri to Times New Roman. You guys.
Yeah, this looks bad, like really bad. And also, you know, is Weakspot is writing dialogue? Then my question would be, why is he creating a game that has dialogue? Why? Makes no sense. I wouldn't do that. I mean, why would I create a game with a lot of dialogue and dialogue strings if my ability to write dialogue is not good? I would just create a different game. Focus on gameplay. Why? Why does this exist? Why is he doing that? This makes no sense. He shouldn't have started developing this game in the first place. It was a mistake. Bad choice.
You guys played Schedule 1, right? That's also made by one guy. That's made by Trevor, right? Let's just go through a few of the patches. Oh, is it Tyler? Not Trevor? My bad, Tyler. I apologize. That's my bad. Let's see what we've got cooking here. Thank you for correcting me. So we've got added off-road skateboard. So there's a whole new item. Huge. Fix not being able, so bug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11. Well, even this one is just modified. Okay, so 10 bug fixes. Okay. So then June 15th, he did a vote for these. June 11th. So this is the community vote. All this is the community vote. What was this one? This was June 26th. So a couple weeks after that. June 10th, consuming a few more tweaks, improvements, bug fixes. June 8th, additions, added lockers, added item slot filters, added employee property transfers, tweaks and improvements, bug fixes. In these last updates, he has done more for Schedule 1 than Pirate has done for Heartbound in a year and a half. I would say by just legitimate improvements to the game, we had 3 facial expression changes and a few writing changes. Now,
Yeah, this makes look Pirate Software really bad. When other developers who didn't have worked at Blizzard, second generation Blizzard employee, and others haven't done it, and they do more work than you and make better games than you, then maybe you aren't as great as you think. Maybe that's a problem here. I think it's an ego thing. I really do. I really do think that it's an ego thing. I absolutely do. Yeah, I'm now absolutely certain about that.
Admittedly, they're 2 different games, right? You know, he doesn't have to worry about this story. He doesn't have to worry about those things. I would argue that this man is creating, you know, new mechanics like the lockers. He was changing things up. He was repeatedly updating the NPC AI. I'm sure as you guys were playing Schedule 1, remember, AI was a bit buggy. Now he's not a streamer. He's not a full-time ferret rescuer. He doesn't have 15 people.
That's also a thing. He has Pirate Software stream, is a streamer, game developer, and he has his ferret rescue. 3 things. Why? Why do you have 3 things? And you very obviously only care about 2, which is the streaming and the ferret rescue. Because the game absolutely doesn't look like you care about. At least not anymore. So, what's going on? That's not good. Stop it. Stop it immediately. Get your shit together. I think he should really refund all the backers of his game and just stop making the game and just focus on his shit. I think that's what he should do. Absolutely. Because this isn't working out. Or he, you know, finishes his game and streams less. Or stops being personally involved in his ferret rescue. Which, by the way, ferret rescue. What the fuck are you doing?
On staff, from how I understand it, and someone was talking to me. I was arguing in Discord. This isn't to like clown on somebody that I chat with, but they were arguing, and I was saying that this is stupid because when I saw the clip, and then he wasn't even able to get his monthly updates out, I was like, that's stupid. I'm gonna make a video about this. They were like, well, it's just like he forgot to get an update out in a month. Like, okay, you know, next time you say you're gonna do a daily upload and you don't, you know, I'll make sure to, you know, make an exposed video about it. And I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe that's a good point. And then I thought about it a bit more, and I'm not telling you guys, or I'm not offering to you guys an ability to purchase your opportunity to watch my videos. Like my memberships, I say it explicitly, it's just to support. It's because I can't, you know, justify holding on to a drama video. Maybe if I start making some more video essay stuff, I can get that out to members, but it's not a promise. And I'm not willing to promise that. Thor has offered a product, has promised a product with the Kickstarter being reached, with the people that are able to purchase it in early access. Like it said, it's just to build a bigger community for that feedback. He should be delivering on that product. And now he is turning legitimate criticism, like other people criticizing that he is not working on the game like you would expect someone to after they promised it to this many people. He has opportunities. He is making a butt ton of money. If he just knows the grindstone for a month and just got those updates out, maybe that would even be sufficient for the people that have done it. And he has made, we would have to assume, millions of dollars at this point. What he's doing, just look at his Twitch sub revenue. And here he is talking about that he just doesn't have time. You promised the product. Nobody else did. You promised to deliver on this product. And I guess you're going to. I guess early access allows you to just stretch this out as long as you possibly can so you can get good streams where you're typing in and changing a number here. It pisses me off to no end that he is going to go and complain and say that people are lying about his inability to get updates out when he shows in his own video.
Right.
That he can't do that he can't stay consistent on it. It's mind-blowing. It's the confidence, it's the cockiness. I don't really know how to sum this up. There wasn't much more I had to it other than just showing like Heartbound's journey, and that time and time again, he's been fucking around on it. And I guess he can just get away, maybe because of how it's legally set up now, to not deliver on that product in a reasonable amount of time. Does anyone have a counterpoint to anything that I just described? I don't disagree. Full-time work on the King 2. We work on 2-week sprints where we knock out 10 to 30 bugs a go, and we try to get updates out every month or two. It's tough. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, he's not earning He's not making any money on Heartbound by just doing updates, right? Like, that doesn't give him money.
Of course he doesn't. Of course not. I mean, is this even a discussion point? Really? Why?
You know, it does streaming. You know, streaming for 12 hours a day, that's making him a shit ton of money. That's allowing him to keep the lights on for these 15 moderators and they're the 17-person team and company and the ferret rescue. Don't get me wrong, but just be honest about it. Don't, like, it's so disrespectful, in my opinion, to your audience that you are going to lie about your ability to get consistent updates out, and then you're going to vilify people that are calling you out on it. Just admit it. Just say, yeah, it's not a priority anymore. That's my biggest issue. Like, he's being disrespectful to the only people that are still sticking around. He lost 120,000 subs over the last 2 weeks. Like, these are the people that are sticking with him through thick and through thin, and he's still lying to them, like, right to their faces. That's it. I don't want to draw this out more. I'm going to be repeating myself. But yeah, here's chat saying goodbye to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Boobs, huge. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Adios. Peace. Good.
Everything he says. Plus. Okay, let's take this because there's the clip.
So I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like I'm being evasive.
100%.
He needs to remove his mic filter that gives him the radio voice.
Software, how's your show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many people.
See? That's his real voice.
They love the games, so it's been awesome.
So speaking of games, what do you have for us today?
So we have Champions of Breakfast, and that game is pretty difficult.
Because I'm not gonna make fun of his voice, I don't give a shit. But I will make fun of the comparison between the voice and the filters.
So
There's a huge comparison.
I feel like I'm being direct, and other people feel like...
And see that again, chat? His nose is almost inside his microphone. This is insane. What's going? I think he's very, very insecure. I think we have here a prime example of being arrogant and insecure at the same time. It's very obvious that he's insecure about his voice. To be fair, I hated hearing my own voice when I started streaming. I really did. I couldn't stand it. And now I'm completely fine with it. And yeah, he seems to have a problem with that. Self-esteem issues, I don't know. And also he's sitting there like his shoulders are up so high. Maybe he's uncomfortable. Might be a thing.